Hey everyone, post-production Nick here. I forgot to readjust the camera, so it kind of cuts off my forehead the entire time in the video, but don't go anywhere. There's a lot more footage to show, a lot more different edits and cool stuff, so yeah, enjoy.
Take this, sit down.
Quiet on set. And action.
Hey, what's up? So, it's New Year and we got to 150 subscribers. Man, I can't say just words out there. Like, I'm happy that this channel has that many subscribers as is. There's usually never that many subscribers for a lot of other channels, but it's a new year and I decided I'd do a little thing. We'd make a recreation of an old video, but more stylish, more, everything around us. Obviously make it look better. And yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna go back over my DVD collection. So we're gonna go through that and basically we'll just get into it right now. So when we first look at it, the first thing we have up is the Transformers movies. And I love these movies. I can't deny. I get a fun kick out of these movies. Now you might be saying, Nick, are these your favorite? Why do you have them at the front of your DVD collection? Look, they're not my favorite, but I was 5 years old when the first Michael Bay Transformers movie came out. Bro, that was like gold for me in the theater. And sad thing about it now is my uncle took me to see it, and he sadly passed away like last summer. And it was me, my dad, and my uncle, and I'll never forget that experience. And it was just so pure to my soul to see Optimus Prime and Megatron battling it out. And the rest of the films, we're not going to get into that, but I think it's just important for me as a filmmaker to have these movies at the top of the list. And that matters a lot to me. Moving on from that, we get into like more of my actual 4 favorite franchises. This is Terminator, RoboCop, Alien, Predator. I literally have some figures up here to the side here. And some of them are good, some of them are bad. Obviously, you have just some master films here in the making. And honestly, I couldn't not have them there at the top right after Transformers. So yeah. Obviously, iRobot's here to separate the AVP films. That's one thing you'll see with this DVD collection is like I have like films that are like crossovers as like their own little franchise. So they're kind of like close to the main franchises, but they're like off somewhere else. So yeah. After that, we get into like my 4 other favorite franchises, which is Star Wars. I literally have an Excel spreadsheet to look back on all this, but it is quite literally Star Wars, Fast and the Furious, Indiana Jones, and Jurassic Park. I know that those are a weird pairing, but all of them, Star Wars, my dad loved it. He got me into it. Force Awakens got me back into that. And Indiana Jones, just classic trilogy. We don't talk about the other 2. Jurassic Park, one of the greats, and they're still making those films, and they're never gonna stop, and I absolutely hate it, but what can we say, right? And Fast and the Furious, they've been on a downward spiral, but I'm from a car family. My family's mechanics. We love this stuff. What can I say, man? Like, Fast and the Furious was pretty much made for me and my family. So I have to have it there. And I love the order of that. So then going after that, we have Back to the Future. I love that trilogy, so that's where that's at. We have the G.I. Joe films. I know, right, Nick? Really, G.I. Joe? Yeah, none of them are really good. I do love the animated film, though, from the 80s. That's really good. But they just go there. Then after that, we got, like, the big monster films category is what I like to call it. So we start off with, like, all the King Kong movies, just all of them. My favorite being the 2005 film. And then we have Godzilla, my favorite being the original from, like, 1954, and I literally have all of these movies on DVDs. You can literally go watch all of these movies. I did like a detailed list of each era of Godzilla and all the DVDs that I have, and I'm gonna rank them all one day. I'll rank all 35 or whatever of these movies soon, but for right now, I have like all of them on DVD. Some of them were really hard to get, especially like the Heisei era, but I have them all, so I really love that. Then we got Gamera, and it's great. I got Mighty Joe Young and some Pacific Rim, and I snuck Real Steel into there just because I love Real Steel and I wanted to have it somewhere. So then we get into some 80s classics that I didn't want to remove from my DVD collection because, little side note, this used to be jam-packed full of stuff until I trimmed it down to only my favorites. But yeah, so going on from that, we have just some other franchises that I really love but aren't my favorites, and they kind of just go here in like release order kind of, depending on what they are. So you have the Ghostbusters movies, got all 5 of those. Get like all 5 of the Karate Kid. I've seen the trailer for the new one, can't wait to see it. We got Pirates of the Caribbean, just shove that in there because why not? Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts is not good, but we have that. Lord of the Rings, The Hobbits, even have the animated films. Me and my buddy Nate, who you saw in the beginning, we've actually watched those. I kind of want to put a review out for them, but I don't know, maybe one day. Star Trek, I haven't seen any of these. I've only seen the new trilogy, but I have all of those, and I just shoved Galaxy Quest in there because Galaxy Quest is the best Star Trek. That's hands down true. Planet of the Apes, love all these movies, glad to have them there. So those are like sort of like the fantasy sci-fi other franchises that I have there. And then we get more into like the sort of the sports, how you would say, action franchise. So this is where we have Rocky, Die Hard, First Blood, Rambo, Mad Max, Lethal Weapon, and those are all like, you know, the 70s and 80s franchises that kind of just fit there very well, and Die Hard's at the top because I love Die Hard. But if you want more details on these, I'll probably go over them individually in some YouTube shorts, but for right now, I like just going through like this. So then after that, we got some like spy action thrillers still going. We got Mission Impossible, we got all of those films, waiting on the new one. We got the Bourne films, love those. We got Bad Boys. Bad Boys has been killing it right now at the theaters. I'm so glad that Bad Boys is still going. They're doing better than ever. I'm shocked to say that, actually. We got the Riddick movies. We got like these two areas that is just like XXX and Riddick, because I love these trilogies, and they're not good movies. They're like how Sean Chandler would say it, Taco Bell type movies, but Vin Diesel, he's a lot of fun in these movies for the most part. Then John Wick, because John Wick's like the newest franchise, so this just fits perfectly. And then after that, we get into the area that I like to call it as like the animated characters in a live action movie. So we got like all the Scooby-Doo movies, we got that new Tom and Jerry movie, we got the Space Jam and the Looney Tunes movies, we got Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and you'd be shocked how many Scooby-Doo movies there are, honestly. So going on from that is now what I would consider the Christmas movies. And I'm not going to list off all of these. We're just going to, you can literally just see all of them as I'm flipping through here. Like, there's so many of them, but I'll go through some of my favorites. Obviously, we got A Christmas Story, we got Christmas Vacation, we got the Home Alone movies, and these are holiday movies, so it's not just Christmas, actually. We got Hocus Pocus in here, we got the Santa Claus. We got some terrible ones like Christmas with the Cranks and Deck the Halls, but I feel like I just had to have them for how bad they are, you know? That's just kind of the person I am. We got Violent Night, that was a new one. Moving on from that, we have our video game movies. Similarly, I'm not going to go through all of these. Let's just go through the main ones that people actually like or don't like. Resident Evil, Tomb Raider, Mortal Kombat, whichever one, I don't care, you know, Super Mario Bros, both of them, I guess. Silent Hill, whatever. All these other ones. Sonic the Hedgehog, new movie just came out. Absolutely loved it. Cannot recommend it enough. Go and see it. Oh, man, that trilogy is like one of my newest favorite trilogies. But a lot of these are just video games or video game related movies, such as Jumanji and Tron and like Ready Player One and Free Guy and all that, where I love these movies, but, you know, where like some of them I do love the movies, but some of them it's more like I only have them just because the video game franchise is a popular franchise. So I figured, hey, I'll have a movie of that, and I can be that guy who has a movie of that. So going off of that, we finally end this thing with book movies, or movies that are based on a book. Some of the more noticeable ones, but I have like all the Willy Wonka movies. I have the Chronicles of Narnia movies, Night at Museum movies, and the Percy Jackson movies. Those are more like kid movies, you know, like kid-friendly, family-friendly movies, but I'm glad to have them there, just to have them, because I didn't want to get rid of any of them because they're so very near and dear to my childhood and my experiences. And then finally ending it off, we have the Hunger Games trilogy, or quadrilogy, I guess you could call it, whatever. And then, you know, you have Maze Runner and Divergent trilogies, which, yeah, that pretty much sums that up. And that's pretty much the whole collection right there. I mean, you obviously see room for places when looking on this for movies that have been told but haven't come out yet. So that's usually how I like to do my collection, is like if I hear that there's a title and it's being worked on and it's getting into production, I'll put it in my list. But what I'll do is I won't put space in the DVD collection for the actual DVDs because it might not get made. But if a trailer comes out, like the new Superman trailer that just dropped, I immediately had to move all of my comic book movies and superhero movies down to put space for a Superman DVD that I'm going to get, obviously, and I'm going to see that in theaters. So that's kind of how it works. It kind of works. Maze Runner: The Death Cure and like Tetris, which was a movie that came out not too long ago, still got spaces for those. Some Disney movies like Hocus Pocus 2 and Home Sweet Home Alone, just to finish off the Home Alone movies. Disney has not done physical releases for those, so it's hard to get those. But for the most part, that is the entire like main favorite franchises of this DVD collection done. And without that, with that being said, that is pretty much the video. I hope y'all enjoyed this. I hope y'all really liked this. And I hope to do more with this channel going into 2025, and I appreciate all the subs. If you have any questions about whatever else, maybe I'll do a second video with the comic book movies and the horror movies, and we'll just remake those old videos. But yeah, thank you for being here. Like, comment, and subscribe. Nick Gear out.